Welcome everyone. I just started the video and I had to restart it because I forgot to put my mic on. But I started at 10:51, which went to 10:52, which is the King and Queen of Swords, and it's now 10:53, which is the Knight of Swords. But the 51 was coming up as very significant here because I was just looking at the number 51 before I did the video, having to do with we need a 51% of positivity to go to the positive side when the split occurs, which according to Sam the Illusionist and his channelings by Metatron is coming up tomorrow, and the new moon is the actual split on the 11th. So that was very interesting coming through. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath first. There's a lot of other messages coming through. Sending lots of love and blessings out to everybody. Okay, so first the pictures. Here is the union read for the 4D, 5D, 6D. All right, so we have the 4D, 5D, 6D. The left is the Divine Feminine, the right's the Masculine, the middle is the bridge between them. This is the incoming Divine Feminine, the outgoing Divine Masculine. The underlying energies is the Four of Wands up here. And then we have the closing energy of the higher self. Okay. Then here is the Twin Flame read in front of you. Again, the SIRIAN Starseed deck is the main deck for the read. And then the full read in front of you, which is the 7-deck read. A lot of energy on the table there. And out to the top cards as well. Okay, so for today, and I wanted to bring up Sam the Illusionist because all the energies that were coming up in this read I did yesterday were resonating with what he was just saying. So you can go ahead and watch his video if you're interested. And again, that was on YouTube as well. The union read in front of us here. The SIRIAN Starseed deck. It was dealt at 244, which is the High Priestess, and the 44 of the Mastery. It's 55 on the clock now. The 11, 22, 33, 44, 55 are all master numbers. So the 44 specifically is Mastery, though. It's the grounding, integrating, mastering of love, especially receiving of love. The union read here is 4D, 5D, 6D for this energy now. Today's the 10th of April, 2021. And we're in the sun energy today. Yesterday, the 9th was the moon and the 9, which is the hermit. And 9/18 actually is my birthday too. So there's a significance there, which has to do with all endings and compassion, right? The universal selflessness, the letting go of the ending to go into the new cycle. When you're in a 9 year, you always feel stuck because you need to clean your closets out basically in order to go forward into the new cycle. So today is the sun and the number 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune, which just came up when we started the video. 10, 50, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, jump. So we have the 10 and the Sun, which is really super positive energy. Like they're two of the best cards in the deck, the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun. And the underlying energy card here was Luna, the moon, and tomorrow's the new moon. I think it might, is it the 11th to the 12th? I think it's the 11th to the 12th. So it starts really late on the 11th, going into the 12th, really early in the morning, depending on where you are in the world. But the first card going into this read was the Four of Wands, the union energy. The middle card was the Ace of Cups, the love energy. And then the higher self was the closing card, which is the higher self is your twin. So the message there of the summary here is the union and big love with higher self. The incoming Divine Feminine is the Luna. I'm sorry, yeah, the Four of Wands was the underlying energy. For the Divine Feminine coming in, the Moon is the first card, then the Lovers, and the Chariot. 3 major arcana for the Divine Feminine. Luna, Lovers, Chariot. Sliding into the new moon, the Lovers burst into movement. Remember, energy is movement. Swing low, sweet chariot was coming up. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Sliding into home base and taking off for the stars. Now you see me, now you don't. And that resonates with what Sam just said about the two-world split actually happening tomorrow on the 11th at the new moon. In a rainbow poof amidst deep ocean water, and I wrote this all before I just listened to Sam, okay? This was yesterday that I wrote this. Poseidon's adventure with Pegasus, which came up the day before, the ether, it was coming up as the Pegasus plus the 4 horses. So the Arjuna's chariot was coming up here, and usually the Arjuna's chariot is described as the chariot being the body, the passenger being the soul or self, Krishna being the witness or the super soul, the charioteer being the intellect or the buddhi, and the reins being the mind or the manas. The 5 horses being your sight, your hearing, your taste, your touch, your smell, your 5 senses. And this was coming up from harkrishnayoga.com. So the easiest way to control the mind, as suggested by Lord Caitanya, is to chant the, it's the KRSA, Padaravandayo. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Padaravinday and then OH at the end there. But I was definitely getting the Namah Shivaya energy as well here. So the 5 horses, also by a commenter on that same website, was coming up as the wisdom, faith, will, discipline, and love. And then when I went back to the Poseidon's adventure with Pegasus plus 4, I was getting Pegasus being the ether, because I just brought up the difference between Poseidon and his son Pegasus, as Poseidon the water and Pegasus the air. Pegasus was actually coming up as the ether, the 5th element, plus the 4 horses of air, fire, earth, and water. Om Namah Shivaya. All right, so you might want to chant that. It aligns your chakras. And it actually, Om Namah Shivaya means, and it has Shiva, Shiva is actually in there, but oh, salutations to the auspicious one is what it means. But it was just brought up into, Jen McCarty did an interview on her channel on YouTube, talking about the Om Namah Shivaya, which she talks about all the time because it had to do with her awakening. But her guest was saying that those are the sounds of the chakras. So the Om Namah Shivaya. Okay. So then I looked up, the traditional sounds that are listed regarding chakras have to do with Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om, and then the crown being Ha. And you notice that Om and Ha, if you have Ha and Om, H-A-O-M is home. And also comes out as Oh Ma, like Oh Ma. And then, and that was coming up from karmaweather.com. At 331, which is the Empress and the 31 of the 5 of Wands, the expansion, the conflict, the games, the competition, the pursuit of happiness, waning into a rainbow puff of smoke, and out of the smoke on the other side comes the chariot out of nowhere for an adventure. So you can imagine this just like a show, a production, or on TV, where something all of a sudden, the chariot, as I'm losing my voice, all of a sudden comes out of the smoke out of nowhere. And it makes me think of, what is the play? I'm just blanking out on the name of the play. On the play is about the one, it's like the, not the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but that same energy. I can't think, I'm just blanking out on the name of the play, but that dark energy where there'd be a lot of smoke or fog around the stage, and then all of a sudden the chariot comes out of nowhere for an adventure. The 4D here is the 6 of Cups transition in the Knight of Swords. The Divine Feminine, inner children loving each other with kisses and hugs. The Divine Masculine passing a 5D message about bubble love, sitting on a rock under a tree, merging with transition of dimension through the lens, how you see the world, which is obviously the energetic split tomorrow, leaving the 4D bridge to the ground above. The 5D coming up here is the 4 of Cups, Ace of Cups, and 3 of Cups. A lot of cups and heartfelt emotions here on the 5D. The Divine Feminine focusing upward towards the stars, and Sirius on bedrock, a strong foundation amidst turbulent seas, with the Divine Masculine's smaller rock, just for one, right next to her, but she didn't see it there before. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Now you see it, now you don't, or you didn't see it, and now you do. The Divine Masculine coming together to socialize, while the 4D Divine Masculine Knight of Swords is letting the 6D higher self know in a 5D message. You see how all the dimensions are coming together here. Bridging in 5D with the Ace of Cups, self-love, spiritual love, new love, just big love in general, projecting the cup, literally, up in the air in order to get the Divine Masculine's attention. It's like where the cup was sitting on the rock in the middle of the ocean, just right next to her, across the turbulent waters where the feminine couldn't see him before. Now he's making motion of the cup. He's tossing it up in the air to try to be able to get her attention with the energy movement. Overwhelming outpouring of love, self-love, new love, exuding love all around, one love. The 6D is the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, and the Wheel. The Divine Feminine Dream Family, lined with crystals and the Garden of Prayer, heaven on earth, as the Divine Masculine and the Great Wheel, the Wild Card, Divine Timing, the Atom, the At-Om, also the Atom Bomb coming up in space. I was getting like an explosion in space. Pigs in space. And I was getting like the barbecue. They were making a funny there with the pigs. But there may actually be an explosion in space that actually is what affects the two-world split tomorrow energetically. The 3 spheres, or planes of existence, with rainbow ring around it. And I posted a picture of my daughter with that rainbow ring around the sun, I think it was, when she was in Florida there last year. That same energy was coming up here, you know, having a literal rainbow around the sun. The rainbow bridge now complete, which that has come up as a message before for me, right? When the rainbow is a circle, that means the rainbow bridge has come full circle. It is now complete. Bridging with the 10 of Wands, helping those still in the dark get to the light with flame in hand, leaving the wounded warrior victim behind, all right? So this is you guys. You're completing your journey. Sorry, I didn't focus this. You're completing your journey now, because if the two worlds splitting tomorrow, all of a sudden, the rest of the population is going to be thrown into dark night of the soul, which then you are there to help them come into the light. The Divine Feminine, the twin flames, the soulmates, the kids, bored and stuck at home, are grounding and integrating their wishes upon a star of that dream family, heaven on earth. The Divine Masculine and the Knight of Swords sends an invitation of congrats or salutations, a reason to celebrate, destined with the 6D placeholder set for the Divine Masculine. The bridge here is transition, death, dark night, end, transmutation, transformation through dark tunnel between bodies of water. And this was coming up in a movie I saw a couple months ago, you know, where you have to go through water and then you have to go through an underground tunnel to get through the water on the other side to escape from the cave. That energy was coming up here. Through the dark tunnel between the bodies of water, which is also the deep emotions, underground cavern that delivers you to jump for joy, springing out of the aqua waters and taking that deep breath like a newborn baby, and then diving back down into the darkness to go back and rescue the others one at a time, showing them how to rescue themselves. One cup, one flame, one light, and the structure to hold it, which would then be the earth. And Spirit's connecting with me very strongly. The outgoing Divine Masculine is reason, or the Emperor, the 9 of Pentacles, the Sovereign, and the 6 of Wands, the journey. The Divine Masculine, the Emperor and reason. Reason, Ray's son, his son or daughter with honors, or Emperor and Sovereign, or his own sovereignty in leading the way on the journey, leading 5 flames. So here's the horse and chariot again, right? Leading the 5 flames, the 5 horses. The chariot with the 5 horses, the driver and passenger, the higher self. The higher self holding his place in the 6D, reserving his spot, or spot just opened up for him there, sliding right in to home base. So the Divine Feminine had Cancer, Gemini, and another Cancer on her side with kids and family going on. On the masculine side was Libra, Aries, and Pisces with the Knight of Swords and the Sovereign or Knight of Pentacles on his side. So it could be dealing with children as well, or just younger people in general, or his own sovereignty and the message of truth. Scorpio was in the middle, so that would affect both of them. And then the numbers in this read were 53, which is funny because I started this video at 51 and 52, and I had to restart it at 53. 53 is the Knight of Swords. It's also the catapult. The horizontal lines came out to 24, 8, and 21, which is the Queen of Wands, strength in the world, and the 53 being the Knight of Swords. The vertical pillars came out to 4, 20, 11, 3, 9, and 6. Okay, so that's the Emperor, Judgment, Justice, the Empress, the Hermit, Lovers, and the Knight of Swords, but also could be the Knight of Cups, Lovers, and the Knight of Swords. So the message coming up here is the Queen of Wands dances around the world, right? She's that passionate energy, the sexy energy, the popular energy that loves to socialize. She's very fiery and can come up as a country woman as well in the tarot. The Queen of being very, back to basics or more simple. The Queen of Wands dances around the world with or as the messenger of truth, or female bodybuilder, or just really strong female holding up the world, as the knight in shining armor comes in to relieve her. So you know how I always tell the story about Atlas and Hercules, right? Hercules came to relieve Atlas just so Atlas could go run and do something for them. But then as soon as they'd come back, they'd have to take over the rock again. So again, this has to do with using your discernment too, and self-love as well. But the Queen of Wands dances around the world with or as the messenger of truth, or the strong female holding up the world as the knight in shining armor, the Knight of Swords, comes in to rescue or relieve her. But it's really not about rescuing now. It is about rescuing, but not doing the work for them, showing them how to rescue themselves. So we have on the other side is the Emperor with an announcement of justice or divorce. There's any kind of, legal finality there. With the Empress, Hermit, Lovers, and the Knight of Swords perhaps. Or instead of the Empress, the Knight of Cups, Lovers, with the Knight of Swords. So the two knights coming together, the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Which actually the two knights were coming together in the read as well. But they're reversed. They have to hash things out first. All right, so that is the union read. The twin flame read is 4-14, the SIRIAN Starseed cut and deal. 4 and 14, the Emperor and the Angels. Right, the Temperance card, the higher love. And I finished clarifying that read at 5-14. So 14 was very significant here. That has to do with patience and balance and the higher love. Taking one step at a time and being calm and balanced. The 5 of the Hierophant, the 14 of the Temperance card. And Hierophant's all about commitment and traditional societal norms. Also, be careful because that can be looking outside yourself for leadership, right? The twin flame energy here. Oh, I forgot that too. I watched a movie, a comedy that's on Netflix last night. It's 11/11 here, called Thunder Force. So, it was a comedy about superheroes, right? But when they decided on their name as Thunder Force, and then they put their logo up, it was literally the twin flame thing. It's TF. It was so funny. And it's such a twin flame thing too, right? That they came in with their superpowers to defeat the rogue superpower people who were affected by the energies a long time ago. So really funny. So 5-14, the twin flame read. The only major arcana in this read was the Hanging Man, which can be the Christ vibration, right, of the man hung out to dry, but also seeing new perspectives. The Hangman was upright in this read, which is hanging out, being wise, seeing new perspectives, or feeling hung out to dry, or just hanging out with someone. Before the read, the Lovers and the Chariot came up. So the Lovers and the Chariot, they naturally are two, the driver and the passenger, the you and your higher self. The Chariot being the vehicle of ascension. The Four of Pentacles, 2 swords, 2 cups, 2 wands. Again, a lot of twos here. With 42 and 22, the 2 of cups and the Fool, with an open heart taking a leap of faith, with the 2 of cups, the one-on-one intense connection. The King of Cups was the only court card in the read, which is unconditional love, and he was upright here. And after the read, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Page of Cups came up. So there can be a father and child, and then 2 queens as well after the read. The numbers here, we had triple sevens, as well as double ones and double threes, which have to do with justice and the Christ vibration. So justice is truth and balance. The 33 is also the 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself without being triggered and knowing when to walk away, came up big time yesterday. And then the triple sevens, right? 7 is that spiritual number. It's the calm before the storm. It's that 0 point energy of the moment before. And then the 88 of the dance of the twins, both being balanced within their masculine and feminine. So the other numbers that came up here were 1, 2, 3, jump. 78, which is the end of the tarot. And it's the 7 of the moment before the storm and the 8 of the storm or the dance. And then we have the, also it's the dream family, right, of heaven on earth. We have the 11 of justice, 33 of the Christ vibration, the 13 of the death card or transition, transformation, transmutation, 35 of the wounded warrior, the 9 of wands, the 37 of the King of Cups, unconditional love, the 34 of the energetic exchange between the twins, the 45 of the grief and the letting go of the past, the 56, which is the 2 of swords, being in your knowing and keeping your energies pure, the 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal humble servant, and the 810 of the end of karma, backed up with source, the 0 at the end. Source embodiment, the human embodiment of source. So very interesting, because I brought up Typhoid Mary yesterday, and someone had brought it back up because I brought up the 4 typhoids were coming up in the read yesterday. Or was it the day before? I can't remember. But anyway, so that typhoid and Mary was coming up in multiple ways too, because I brought up nightmare yesterday as well. And the first 2 words in the code line here were TIFO, but which also can be typhoid, right? TIFO and typho, all right? So both of those energies were coming up here, and I'll tell you what they referenced in just a second. So the code line was all about adventure and time out, and it was broken up into adventu and re, like R-E, and then time, O-U, and then T is separated from out. And T has to do with toggling up, and I'll tell you what came out with that as well. So the message here from the code line, which the numbers for the code line came out to be 797, from the numbers 738, 52, and 7, or 7 and 38 could be separated here and come out to 104, which would be then the 7, 38, 52, and 7, which is a chariot, with the 38, which is the Queen of Cups, and then the 52 is the Queen of Swords with the chariot, the 7 again. So 2 queens in their separate chariots here, because there's 2 chariots. Okay, so the message here. Source, foe. So the foe of source is the sap, the life essence of the Queen of Cups with self, the Queen of Swords, or 52, of blind men and orphans, mastering and taking the high ground, standing up to the Han energy, which also can be the Sultan, right? That can be that very harsh Turkish energy. It also can be Han Solo. It can also be the Han culture of Chinese. But it also comes up as the roadside shelter for animals and people, kind of like the Fleabag Hotel, and it always reminds me of the Happiness Hotel in the Muppet movie. So definitely the energy with fleas was coming up, like that's a place is very dirty, maybe there's a lot of animals there, or just, you know, a bachelor pad where they never clean up after themselves. That kind of energy was coming up here. Typhoid sap, or in other words, the disease state. where 3 dance mercilessly with selves, and 5 know and are keeping to themselves. So again, the 3 doing the dance of the divine masculine, divine feminine, and the other, with the 5 others around them knowing the situation but not revealing that, mastering standing up to others, fending off all others, like the fleas off of a dog. Infestation, right? Fending it off before it becomes that infestation. Also, the name Ian was coming up here, which means one, solace, once, ever, and sometime. So again, Tifa was coming up, which is the cheerleading, right? The holding up signs, right? Seeing your synchronicities, having support in your field. The life essence of the Chariot, of the Queen of Cups, in a rush, being cruel to themselves, while the Queen of Swords masters fending off the Fleabag hotels, restaurants to eat, or men with infestations, or messy, or in pieces, right? Their life is a mess, in pieces, right? So we talked about the feminine being the pieces of the puzzle, the mosaic all put back together but not integrated yet. So here's the masculine still needing to put all the pieces back together, right? They're not all integrated yet. So again, I told you Advent 2 came up, which literally means Advent or arrival, regarding the time owed to you, right? O-U, and then separated from T. So O-U, and then T, right? Time out. That's that time out symbol in the game. Time to toggle up. T and counting. Countdown to arrival. The second coming. I literally wrote this down, and then I just told you that Sam the Illusionist was saying talking about the second coming of Christ and the division of the worlds tomorrow. But the second coming of Christ is the celebration before Christmas, right? It's the preparation celebration, like the 7 again, the moment before, the calm before the storm, the celebration or road less traveled leading up to the event, to the storm. So Tifos coming up here, but also besides Tifos, like the people holding up cards, is Typhos is the typhus, but not typhoid fever. Typhos is Greek for typhus, and it's a fever due to rickets. So rickettsia, bacteria, not typhoid fever. And it means to smoke. And what we were just talking about, the smoky stage and the chariot coming out of the smoke. But also to smoke is ghosting, to scatter like dust, which I'm also going out to spread my mother's ashes. Ashes, and then Eve up supports Eve, which can represent Adam and Eve, because Adam just came up as well as the atom. So supports Eve, but also the evening of the Empress's dance or strength of strawberry fields forever. So here we're talking about being in the fields again, right? The cheerleaders in the fields, strawberry fields forever. The Queen of Swords of thoughts and words, and mastering standing up without being defensive, being one, quantum of solace, rising to tango, sometime, ever. A Chinese caravan or sultan of suede, the happiness hotel, doesn't get cleared very often or doesn't get cleaned very often, so you shouldn't have pets there. The Fleabag Hotel, regarding OUT, Advent 2, in preparations for the coming of Christ. To smoke, a gas bomb, bug spray, and the house, a ghosting, explosion in the sky, a scattering like dust, of ashes, Eve, and the Queen of Cups in a flash of light. I, the Queen of Swords, master of fending off all others, not allowing infestation, hostile takeover, right? So it's being in your truth and keeping your energy clean to not allow that hostile takeover. The I, preparations for adventure or advent and time out in preparation of or for the arrival. Okay? So, and actually June 21st came up yesterday. So there may be like, this is like that time period between tomorrow and June 21st, which is the preparations. Because then we go into Lionsgate, and that's always the energy of the end of July towards 8/8. And then, of course, 9/9 being the culmination. It's like Lionsgate is the pinnacle, and then the decrescendo. It decrescendos like waning from the full moon down to 9/9, and then the cycle begins again. So the Seven of Pentacles in this read is the first card reversed. And in this deck, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, the Seven of Pentacles is the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower. The Four of Pentacles, or crystals actually, is the Divine Masculine in the Bat Cave. We also have the Five of Crystals, which is the Hermit in the Mary Magdalene Cave. So you notice this theme here. There's three people in caves here. The 559 of the Five of the Hierophant, and the 59 of the moment before the 60, the 11th hour. The 59 also of the Five of Swords, which is the war within, becomes the war without. The war within is that anticipation of the moment before the storm, right? The fear. The Seven of Pentacles is reversed here, which is the Divine Feminine's heart opening up and coming out. And beneath that, so here's that Seven of crystals right there. Beneath that is the Ace of Swords upright from the bottom up, the Three of Wands upright, the Four of Pentacles reversed, which is the Divine Masculine's heart right below hers, the Lovers reversed, and the Chariot is upright. So the truth presented by one with Taurus in their chart, or about a divorce, or a break in a contract, or something legal, justice, or by an alternative spiritual person perhaps, having to do with the Hierophant reversed, thinking outside the box. Being present to the Divine Masculine's heart in the Bat Cave, also opening up, perhaps in a breakup or lack of affection, in a bold move to the Divine Feminine's heart, coming out of the E-Tower, like they're both coming out of their hearts to meet each other in this sweet spot. The Four of Crystals to the Seven of Crystals. I always talk about in numerologically that's the sweet spot, right? Just above the middle, or just to the alkaline side, or just to the light side, right? Or just to the left, slightly to the lighter side, the sweet spot, the 4 to 7. The Knight of Swords rushing in on behalf of the Empress reversed, or news about a mother, aunt, grandmother, or boss's passing or illness. The Magician reversed, insecure about approaching defensive sovereign who's in their power. Sunshine and dreams come true, vacation, kids, pets, and healing. Free to leap to the Ten of Pentacles upright, family, business, or community of the Emperor and the Empress, both reversed here. There's some shame between them, feeling guilty or shamed, or the Emperor feels bad for taking advantage of the Empress reversed or using them, and vice versa. They're both reversed. For justice, court, divorce, or Libra, attention, success, back on the horse leading the way. So again, here's that lead of 5 horses, or kids in Aquarius, or star, or healer, free to leap to wealthy parents or grandfather. Both the Emperor and the Empress are reversed, perhaps upset with each other, or both are upset with somebody else or another situation, or both have passed, or both should be ashamed of themselves, lying, cheating, and stealing, or depending on justice, divorce, or Libra for everything to make everything better. Justice or Libra leaving the pumpkin patch, or a judge stepping down to go in another direction. Or Leo, Aquarius, and Aries, or Aquarius, Aries person, or kids or pets off to the wealthy Emperor and Empress reversed in divorce, or perhaps staying at their parents' house, and or parents upset with them or about the situation. And Aries and Taurus both reversed, which can be the Emperor reversed or the Empress reversed, or they are found guilty, or the Emperor with wrapped feet or diabetes, and the Empress reversed losing their mind or literally dementia. And justice prevailing. After the Empress reversed or Taurus reversed, this could be someone who's heartless as well, to Judge or Libra, and Libra taking off on a journey, The Devil's reversed, detoxing, perhaps after an episode, in a bold move to the Queen of Pentacles, who's losing their patience or unwilling to entertain fallen angels, reproach. Capricorn reversed and Sag reversed, both here. Capricorn's upright with Queen of Pentacles. Taking the show on the road. And there's confirmation. Taking the show on the road. I just got a text from a Scorpio, by the way. Looking for a handyman. Taking the show on the road, leaving a mess behind, impatient to get going, getting the dogs in line, or merging polarities. So again, this is like it's like the 11th hour merge, because if you stay polarized to the negative, there's the split tomorrow. So it's that energy of getting your energy as clear as possible, or as positive as possible. Or the Queen of Pentacles leaving without saying goodbye to those who don't serve her. So again, she's clearing her energies of those with negative energies. New passion and burning the past. The Knight of Cups reversed may be jealous of the Ten of Pentacles family, business, community, or legacy in an all-business relationship that's unstable or moving or ending. Matching feet and knees, mirroring, or someone using the mirror to look at their crotch, or someone may have a mirror on their bedroom ceiling here, or at the psychologist and the red couch, or someone's at sex therapy or couples therapy with issues at home. Unable to trust, or one let others into their circle of trust. Compassion comes up here of 99, and beneath that surrender, or 91. So here I was then getting the spy or the agent 99, and then Maxwell's smart ass. Okay, so the energetic exchange here with the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles both reversed. Those are the two knights coming together. You know, one is either lashing out, verbally abusive, or lying. And then the Knight of Pentacles, who's a stubborn mule kind of energy, either disabled, unable to function, or without a job, or someone may see them as lazy, or not working, or doesn't have to work. So secret justice, or divorce, or Pisces and Libra in energetic exchange. The King of Cups reversed, unavailable wounded warrior, without peace, or peace of mind, or a peaceful place to go. No more out at nights, and no more spying on them. Or no more mushrooms, or a trip canceled, and that can reference mushrooms if people are doing ayahuasca or mushrooms. 636 is the lovers, and the Atlas energy of the Ten of Wands, the weight of the world upon your shoulders. At 37 then, as we turn the page, is the King of Cups and unconditional love of the lovers. Stuck in the head with no peaceful place to go, the Divine Feminine's heart leaving the E-Tower on a journey. No longer patient, or losing patience, to move or visit, or the party's just over. 99 of compassion, of endings, and universal selflessness. You know, the spring cleaning, the letting go of the past. The powerless, financial drains, the losing the power, money, and independence, or a big purchase or bills to pay. Over isolating, going crazy, broken, in chaos, with the world upside down and holding your tongue, or feeling powerless or dependent, with Virgo and Cancer both reversed, and Pisces reversed as well, lashing out, lying, or holding back a message and or an announcement. Going after this read is the King of Pentacles upright, rising above in the awakening, with new information about bad influences around them, social distancing or third party or gossips, and losing their temper. The Hanging Man is upright, seeing new perspectives, with the King of Cups upright, unconditional love, or a water sign male, so it can be Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, losing their temper, hanging out with the King of Cups and kids, implementing a plan to receive love from a breakup or a lack of affection. Like this can be two, like, you know, two people coming together, one saying they're making a sacrifice for the other person, maybe they need to take care of them, whether it's your child or your parent, and assuming that you're going to receive love for doing this sacrifice, for helping them. But assuming that, and not maybe you're not getting that at all. Maybe the other person's being obstinate and difficult and not appreciating what you're doing. recovering and insecure without the tools perhaps to deal with the situation, where the cycle's now complete, or Capricorn's upright with the King of Cups and the kids opening to receive love from perhaps a Gemini reversed who's recovering from exile, or perhaps they're reversed, so Gemini reversed can be very biting with their words. Insecure with Divine Feminine, or Pisces upright, and inspired or inspiration offered to a spiritual person, or Taurus reversed, or in a divorce or break from contract situation, a break from a religion or an establishment, tradition. With truth given to the High Priestess reversed, the secret passion, or the one who needs to use their intuition, or the one who can't keep a secret, and Pisces reversed may be upset. And that could be just someone with Pisces in their chart as well. So the recent past here is the Seven of Swords upright, passing downloads and working hard, destined to be free from uncomfortable energies of a breakup, or Gemini reversed, who may be harsh or verbally abusive or lying. And the Ten of Cups upright, happy families supposedly, which can be the sham fam, right? They look happy on the outside, but there may be third-party interference from the Queen of Swords, or may be seen by this Gemini reversed energy as the Queen of Swords, who's actually upright in the read, being interference and speaking her truth. The Hermit reversed coming out to the King of Swords upright, and the Page of Cups reversed, offering time, money, and effort to the Page of Cups reversed. So the foundation here is the Ace of Cups upright, self-love, new love, and the Eight of Pentacles, working to align or working hard, being creative, while prisoner hides behind letting go and spending a little money perhaps. The King of Cups is upright, and the Page of Pentacles upright, the good student, perhaps showing off, making others feel badly, right? Because they're in a really good energy, and there may be others around them feeling bad. But that's, you shouldn't dim your light because somebody else feels bad that your light is bright. If you're in your positive energy, you shouldn't let anyone make you feel bad about that. That is then a trigger for the other person to then raise their vibration and become who they want to be. The central energy is the Five of Pentacles, the Hermit in exile, recovering and finding peace away from the Page of Wands reversed, child who may be having a temper tantrum. That could be a child or an adult acting like a child. Present to announcements or in a bold move to travel and move forward. The challenge being the Two of Swords reversed, receiving clarity, which then can knock you off balance, receiving new information, standing up to others about hard work in the aftermath of sudden events, and being unable to function or feeling stuck, stubborn, or not working. The Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed, clashing and fighting, one being jealous and insincere and the other one being stubborn and lazy, however someone wants to perceive that. And I'm getting it's futile. The King of Wands stands up and says, that's enough, right? It's like yelling at the kids. The Hermit reversed coming out, a negative energetic exchange or a negative topic, and justice of the wounded warrior telling their troubles to a friend. Unhappy with the King of Wands with a big ego, or with issues with Leo, ego, kids, or pets. Avoiding sudden changes or in the aftermath of sudden events, with the Queen of Swords upright speaking her truth, twin flame, or choosing a path of grief or facing those who are grieving and breaking patterns, with the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Page of Pentacles upright at 7:05, which is the Chariot and the Hierophant, or Cancer and Taurus. So here we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Page of Pentacles upright, which definitely could be siblings. One being a good student and having a positive attitude, and the other one being obstinate and stubborn and perhaps seen as lazy by the parents. Now here is the Hanging Man with a right knee block, which is anger block on the masculine side, perhaps bored and presenting the truth, or bored with presenting the truth, or with receiving it at 7:06, which is the Chariot and the Lovers. Letting go, putting their cards out on the table. The Queen of Pentacles upright takes a leap. And yesterday, the 1, 2, 3 jump, instead of counting to 10, taking the leap. 1, 2, 3 jump to the 10, the quantum leap. Justice, divorce, Libra, star, healer, getting their wish. Offering a new life on a quest for the King of Wands with third party synchronicities or options, and the Ten of Cups family tossing them out, which is no surprise. Offering money and receiving love from healing the Page of Swords reversed, who's planning to cause suffering to the Divine Feminine or Pisces. This is someone who can be vengeful. The World complete with the King of Pentacles upright and the Ten of Pentacles upright, running away or stealing from twin or taking their freedom of choice. But again, it's the energy of the Page of Swords reversed, which is the issue here. And this also can be an energy of the King of Pentacles and family looking like perfect. Same thing as the sham fan, but in a monetary sense. But it may be an illusion because they're coming up as running away or stealing from the twin or Pisces energy or taking their freedom of choice. Or that can be actually fire energy as opposed to Pisces and duality. So soon here is the King of Cups coming up, but upright, after fighting with the Knight of Cups reversed, receives big passionate offer from an unknown source. In a falling out with soulmate or blast from the past at night, in disconnect or at a distance, and death, and dark night and transition, or with Scorpio and the Knight of Swords rushing in with the truth to end the pain, perhaps with a gift. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Three of Pentacles upright, coming together to work, co-create, where the worst is over, with rejection and bliss and vulnerability and hanging out at the workplace or place of co-creation, the sacred place, rising up and coming out, awake to share and settle out, falling short of expectations or falling short on energy. The Page of Cups reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed, who also could be kids perhaps, or messages here, or feeling rejected and falling short, or unable to pay everybody. This could be someone who falls short of paying their staff this week. Honeymoon, chemistry, reconciliation, and stay optimistic about your love life all comes up for the twins here. Around the twin flames, or how they're seen, is the Eight of Pentacles again, lining the steps of the E Tower, the Divine Feminine's tower, her heart with crystals, and the Queen of Cups with new information, and the Queen of Wands reversed, High Priestess reversed, exposed, or with kids on vacation. Leo reversed and Pisces reversed, or secret passion for Leo, kids or pets or sunshine, or for exposing all. And the block here being the Seven of Wands, the rising up from the ashes, the dark night, and the journey to see the wounded warrior, or perhaps the Wizard of Oz. Adventure, time out, flirting with Star, Dream Girl, or Aquarius. Heated exchange, no shock, feeling bad, dropping the ball, unable to make that offer to the Page of Pentacles after all. Delays and needing courage in a divorce or a break. Leo and Taurus both reversed and fighting or arguing, not telling their true desires. The Queen and King of Swords both upright here, unable or unstable home, or moving, visiting, dropping the ball, with the Emperor reversed, recovering from dissatisfaction and or arrogance or unhappiness, and the King of Swords losing control. The Queen of Swords with the Six of Cups reversed, a falling out or a negative past, returning, or difficult kids, struggling from dark to light, to end the struggle with the Queen of Wands reversed, and the Page of Cups message of love, offering a new life. Implementing a plan to offer love in order to come together at work, working to align, passing downloads to recover from exile, and challenged by new information that comes in, or clarity, and the King of Cups, unconditional love, rising above, to hang out with the right knee injury or anger, needing to express their true desires, with the Queen of Swords and unhappy kids burdened by the Queen of Wands reversed, who may be sick, tired, or sick and tired of the Page of Cups message, or love and offer of a new life. And she could be vengeful as well. So this is where I wrote the Thunder Force, and this the TF symbol, which also looks like the Y in the road. Yeah, very interesting. And that was from 9, I'm just getting the numbers from that. It was 9 to 1039, which is the Hermit, with a lot of source energy backing them up, to the 10 of the Turn for the Better, into the Knight of Cups, which is the being of love. At 811, which is the Strength or the Dance, and the 11 of Justice, which is Truth and Balance, the truth is given at the present moment, or as a gift, to get the Divine Masculine's heart to open up to the lack of affection, a breakup, or a bold move, to travel or ascend. Or Gemini is reversed and Cancer is upright, or what's coming up here is that time period where Gemini goes into Cancer, which is what I was talking about earlier, June 21st, which is the summer solstice. The implementation of a plan to get the Divine Feminine to come out and pass messages, even if it's not smooth sailing at first. New love, and then the number 19 is coming up, which is the Sun, which is today. Today adds up to the Sun, and that's number 19. So that can be ego and Leo coming up with that as well. I'm sailing away, so that's coming up as well. The implementation of a plan to get the Divine Feminine to come out and pass the messages, even if it's not smooth sailing at first. New love and recovering, hanging out, and challenged by clarity and losing peace of mind. The workplace with the King of Cups, or co-creation and unconditional love, working to align and rise above. The drama of delay after delay and heated exchanges with the Queen of Swords, and a falling out or negative childhood or difficult children. Burdened by Atlas, dark to light, with the Queen of Wands reversed, with no tolerance for the Page of Cups. Innocence, I was just getting advice now. Innocence and loving message, offering time, money, and effort, and the new life. The gold coin, this Page of Cups, offering that gold coin, or the Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, to all. So that was the read, and I'm going to pull you a few oracle cards here. So let's see what the energy deck has to say. It's 5202 on this one, and then 1145 over there. So the Queen of Swords and the High Priestess, the psychic abilities, the secret. 1145 is actually my time of birth. It was like 44 to 45. 11 is Justice, which is Truth and Balance. 45 is that 5 of Cups, which is that grieving card, right? Letting go of the loss, the regret, the guilt, the shame, and the past. And burning those cords or bridges that you know don't serve your highest good. That doesn't mean if someone changes the way they are that they can't try to come back in. But we're talking about a two-world split tomorrow, right? Where the ones who want to be dark have decided that for themselves, or the ones who decide they don't want to ascend and they may pass away, decide to do that. That's their choice. So from the energy deck, for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? There's two cards that are coming out here, 11 and 12 actually. Cornucopia, which is like Thanksgiving every day. It's also can be seen as the 2 of Roman numeral, the High Priestess, but it's really the 11 of Justice, of Truth and Balance, which is your abundance here. And then we have the 12 of the Hangman and the Temple Path, the guard, you know, the Garden of Prayer, right? That special place to be on path, to hang out in a special place of abundance, right? Heaven on earth, to see new perspectives. But there's no people in those energies. It's just about going into this abundant energy, right? The place you've always wanted to be. Like living inside of a beautiful picture. The enchanted forest and the enchanted garden, the Garden of Prayer, the Garden of Eden. And then here we have the hostilities of the 26. And I think that the Page of Cups, excuse me, the Page of Wands was upright and inspired. No, they're reversed in the read. So there is some, so that's that anger block that's coming up with the Hangman. So here's the Hangman card over here, and there's like a block next to his knee, you know, and it's inflamed, and that has to do with anger in the joints, and trying to see new perspectives when the anger comes up, when there's frustrations and hostilities, and transmuting those energies, allowing them to come up, to see them for what they are, and then to be able to release them from your subconsciousness, bringing it up to your consciousness. And this can be your energy, your twin's energy, a child's energy, but it's just dealing with those last little bits of hostilities that need to come up and out, right? That one little thing that can ruin a beautiful thing if you let it. And then there's the anxieties too. So here's the masculine anger. The masculine anger is the divine feminine's anxieties, right? So when he gets angry, she gets anxious. And actually I was feeling that a couple times this past week, where I get a lot of pressure in my face, like my twin is either freaking out, pissed off, or is upset. And then that causes that feeling in the feminine, because now she's got a lot of pressure in her face. So it obviously causes feelings to come up in her as well, and vice versa. Remember that you're always connected, and to take responsibility for your own energies and feelings, and take a step back to see the bigger picture. The 29 of being present in the moment, the gift. And then the 37 of the King of Cups, the third chakra, Archangel Chamuel, which is finding your light, your confidence, finding your bliss, unconditional love. The bottom of the deck, there's the storm, the 10 of the storm, clearing away all the debris, right? The smoke screen, the storm warning, and beneath that was the merging of polarities, right? It's the last, it's the 11th hour, you know? You're either positively polarized and you want to ascend. It's like the 11th hour, the star. The star is shine your light, take action to bring the polarities together, to take action. Allowing the storm to clear the air, to clear away all the debris from all this action going on, the black and the white merging together, and allowing the storm, allowing the cyclone in order to get to the vortex or the 0 point. So let's see what the journey of love has to say about this. It's actually very clear, right? The storm this is going away now, right? Clearing away the debris in order for abundance to come through in a major, major way, allowing you to see the anger and the anxiety that comes through together, right? When one feels hostility, the other one feels anxiety. Okay? And being able to see this for what it is, to then take a step back and find your confidence again. Find your bliss, your unconditional love. So from the journey of love, and it's 51 on the clock again, 11:51, truth and justice, balance, the 51 of the King of Swords, and then the 58:33 was just on this clock here, which is the 58 of the Four of Swords, the 5D connection, and the 33 of the Christ vibration, the unity consciousness. All right, so from the journey of love, what is our takeaway for this read today? We have a couple cards that are coming out here. The Heart of God. 9 is the Hermit, the ending, the compassion, the selflessness. And it's like the opening of the portal, right, of the multi-dimensional being. It's like the different colors or the different layers of portals that are opening up, right? So the feminine's heart's opening, the masculine's heart's opening, because they're all pieces of God's heart opening here to unity consciousness. And then we have 3 cards that came out together. The 52 of the Queen of Swords, the ancient ones, receiving all the light, the feminine energy gathering the light. The 32 of the journey, and the devotion to the small, right? Seeing seeing all of the little bits and pieces, as well as the children, the vulnerable, and the old people who are vulnerable, anyone who's vulnerable, the plants and the animals, devotion to the small, those who can't help themselves, teaching them how to, or protecting them, being good to the plants and the animals and the children and the old folk, those who are injured, the feminine pulling in all the light in order to share that with the vulnerable. And then the 44, there's the old people vulnerable, the Thoth energy, those who have always based their life on being intellectual. Now in a wheelchair, we talked about this the other day, being forced to learn a new perspective, perhaps having to be taken care of by people they never would have given the time of day to, seeing a new perspective for all. All right? So we're going from the feminine, receiving the light, and here's all of the elders over here, the ancient ones, and the 52 of the Queen of Swords, the mother taking care of the vulnerable, the devotion to the small on the journey, and then the 44 of the grounding, integrating, and mastering of the receiving of love, learning how to receive it in the rings of time. And this is very much so. A lot of older people now have to learn to allow someone else to love them, or allow someone else to take control and take care of them, which they never would have allowed before. And then we have the underlying energy here of the distant shores, and there's the new moon tomorrow. The 18 of the anxiety was just coming up in the other deck, and the distant shores and the radiation of the moons, the 4 moons. And beneath that is the seed of the heart, the 25 of the Knight of Wands. And this came up too before. And again, there was like, in these 2 cards from before, there was that effect of the lines. They're all the same here, right? It's just a different perspective. And that was coming up as the black and white card of the Lovers as well, just showing the black and white of the lines like this. That the seed of the heart is planted, and it's up to you to decide how you use that seed, for dark or for light. So, and what I'm getting, because emeralds and purples are very much of that higher vibration, but if you get ungrounded, there can be a lot of anxiety that comes up in these energies. If you're staying in your very high vibration, you're not grounded, you see all the disturbed energy there. It's like, that's the anxiety coming up from that. So remember, just because you're in your higher vibration doesn't mean you can't feel anxiety. All right, and then here is a much more calm energy, but then there may be question marks here. Here's in the blues, more in the hearts and the solar plexus, being more centered. But then is there a question mark here? Once the seed is planted, 25 is the Knight of Wands, which needs to get up and go. So it's the seed. Once the seed is planted, it's up to you how you respond to that seed. So let's see what the heart of God wants us to know. Okay. Number 9. You are part of something profound, a divine calling and privilege. It's the role of inspiratrix or inspirator upon this earth, the women and men who have hearts capable of bliss. Bliss is what we feel when we let God in. The heart opens and we cannot speak for the sensation of it. It cannot be described. Great hearts can tolerate mystery. They can bear the enormity of divine bliss. Beyond analysis and description, and simply be. You don't have to do anything with it, you see. To be the inspiration is to have a heart open to the divine. It's a life calling. Your heart is an inspirational force to be loved, recognized, and protected for the precious catalyst of divine awakening that it is. Be led by your heart. God is in it. speaking through it, calling you forth to love. And the love that flows through your heart filters out through your toes, dripping on those beneath you as stars falling from heaven. I'm in heaven. And that's coming up from the Green Mile. This oracle holds a message for you. Direct from the divine, you have a sacred purpose to fulfill upon this earth. And it's all sorted out. This situation, this issue, this awakening that you seek, are living even now, is held lovingly in the hands of the divine creator. The creator says to you, leave it with me. It's all unfolding in perfection. I am alive in your heart. I am your heart. And the poem reads, when souls are touched with love sublime, and hearts unleash the wonder found, a promise made somewhere in time of words that speak without a sound. In gratitude we transcend space, and bless the gifts we now can keep, of thoughts caress and soft embrace, and eyes allowed to joy, or allowed in joy to weep. The moment's song that we compose will leave this life with no regret, and carry forth what we impose, to chart again a course once set. For what we have is ours to own, each breath a step we measure sweet. Together now we wait alone, and walk in peace, our hearts complete. Well, that is a beautiful message. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, I hope that message was pretty clear, kind of exciting, as it's 11:59 is the 11th hour, literally before 12. The 11th hour. Make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, and rise and be love. See you soon, guys. Bye.